Think stars are having all of the fun? No.
No pressure tonight.
These days, nobody's making more and spending more than the button-down badasses of Wall Street. In the next hour, we'll tour the hedgerow mega homes they're buying with all that hedge fund cash.
Come on!
Wake Carrington's the largest estate in Greenwich, and it's $25 million.
Show you the insane mega yachts and jumbo jets paid for with their mind-boggling bonuses.
I'm just wondering now, what do you need a commercial-size airliner for?
And reveal how big-name charities are just another excuse to flash their cash.
They raised in one night $71 million.
Oh, yeah!
Plus, we'll introduce you to the high-priced matchmaker who pairs money guys with the world's hottest babes.
Programs start at $15,000 and go as high as well into the six-figure range.
And we'll even get an exclusive look inside the ultimate bachelor life of one of Wall Street's highest rollers.
I love to have fun, and I really do like the best things in life.
Buy low and sell very, very high.
I just wanna live.
This is the fabulous life of billion-dollar Wall Street ballers. Tom Cruise, Denzel Washington, Johnny Depp. They're the highest paid movie stars in Hollywood, raking in a combined $134 million in 2006. Sounds like a lot of cash, right? Not quite. If you want a real paycheck, get a job on Wall Street, like hedge fund manager Paul Tudor Jones. He takes home an estimated salary of $800 million a year. And get this, he isn't even Wall Street's top earner.
These Wall Street tycoons are making so much money, it is almost hard to comprehend. They're making more money than Fortune 500 CEOs, than celebrities.
Check out the pay stubs of Wall Street salary superstuds, starting with Louis Bacon. This mega-rich hedge fund manager brings in an estimated $400 million a year. And hedge fund manager Bruce Kovner, he used to drive a New York City cab.
Oh, yeah!
Today he hauls in an estimated $800 million a year. Then there's hedge fund king Stevie Cohen. He's so media shy, we were lucky to land this one candid snapshot. But there's nothing mysterious about his massive Wall Street income.
I just wanna live.
Stevie makes an estimated $1 billion a year.
Oh, yeah!
But no Wall Street paycheck power broker can touch this guy. Wall Street heavyweight Edward Lampert. Eddie's so rich, in 2003 he was actually kidnapped and held in a motel room for 39 hours. The ransom, $1 million. But Eddie bargained them down to 40 grand. Lunch money for a guy like Eddie, he earns $1.5 billion a year.
These guys can basically have anything they want. They've got so much money that they're only limited by their imagination.
And with money like that, you'd better believe these Wall Street guys have some outrageous mega homes.
Wall Streeters actually own the biggest and most expensive property in Manhattan. You'd think it'd be celebrities or Donald Trump, but it's actually the people of Wall Street.
Like finance heavyweight Steven Schwartzman. During his years on Wall Street, he's racked up a net worth of $2.5 billion.
Yeah.
So it's no surprise that he and his wife Christine live here, in this high-rise on Manhattan's swanky Upper East Side. their apartment, a 35-room spread that spans 3 floors and measures an unheard of 20,000 square feet. The cost? Over $30 million.
What you have to understand is the average size apartment in New York City is 1,300 square feet. You can fit 15 of the normal sized apartments in his huge apartment.
Hold it now.
Yeah, Steve likes his square footage, but not quite as much as financier Jeffrey Epstein. Jeff was a high school math teacher until he traded his blackboard for the big board in 1976, eventually launching his own exclusive finance firm for billionaire clients. But he just couldn't keep out of the classroom. So when he was shopping for a new house, he bought himself an entire schoolhouse and transformed it into the largest single residence in all of Manhattan at a whopping 51,000 square feet.
Oh, yeah.
The school cost about $20 million, and he's dropped $10 million just renovating it.
It has incredible bells and whistles, closed-circuit televisions, a heated sidewalk out front, so the snow melts.
But it wasn't just size that financier J. Christopher Flowers was after when he went out to buy himself a new Manhattan pad on the Upper East Side. In 2006, he set a real estate record for the most expensive single-family residence in New York City.
Financier J. Christopher Flowers laid down $53 million for the Harkness Mansion on the Upper East Side.
J. Christopher Flowers has the most unbelievable setup in the city. I mean, people in New York, even rich people, live in apartments. But this guy has an entire mansion right in the middle of the city.
But when life in the Big Apple becomes a drag, Wall Streeters head for the suburbs. And in the heady world of hedge fund managers, only one burb cuts it: Greenwich, Connecticut.
Greenwich, Connecticut has become the place to be for hedge funds.
They already have these huge houses in Greenwich, so they figure, why commute? They don't have to.
Of the $1.2 trillion invested in hedge funds around the world, $120 billion is managed in Greenwich, Connecticut.
And in Greenwich, the mega homes come with insane amenities fit for Wall Street moneybags, like 3,000 bottle wine caves, private movie theaters, and indoor basketball courts with 60-inch plasma screens, standard. Perfect for our $800 million a year earner, Paul Tudor Jones. With a net worth of $2.5 billion, he was primed for the Greenwich good life. So he bought this 13,000 square footer on the town's Tony Bellhaven Peninsula.
He bought it in 1994. It's now said to be worth between $50 and $60 million.
Paul Tudor Jones's home is so big, people have compared it to a national monument.
Yeah, call it Mount Cashmore. But it's a pile of rocks compared to the Greenwich home of hedge fund manager Edward Lampert. At age 44, Eddie is one of the country's youngest billionaires, with a net worth of $3.8 billion. And in 1999, Eddie dropped $20 million on his Greenwich mega mansion and then tore it down so that he could build this place. A 5.8-acre super mansion and one of the most over-the-top compounds in town. But no hedge fund big boy has conquered Greenwich real estate like the $1 billion a year Stephen Cohen. In 1998, he paid nearly $15 million in cash for this 14-acre estate.
It's 31,000 square feet, which is basically the size of the Taj Mahal.
And Stevie's joint makes the Taj look like a truck stop. Not only does he have a 30-room main house, the property also includes a 12,000 square foot sports annex, including a basketball court, a swimming pool in a glass dome, and a skating rink with a 700 square foot cottage just for his personal Zamboni. Plus, Stevie added a 20-seat movie theater. The foyer ceiling, it's a recreation of the stars as they appeared on his wedding night.
Hold it now.
But just when you thought Wall Street abodes couldn't get any more bodacious, Greenwich real estate developers are building even bigger homes primed for the next generation of tycoons. Check out Lake Carrington, the largest home ever to hit the Greenwich market.
Lake Carrington is the largest estate in Greenwich, and it's $25 million. An estate like Lake Carrington's never been built before, and it'll never be built again.
As co-founder of Antares Investment Partners, Joe's one of the mega home masterminds behind this mammoth 41,000 square foot spec mansion poised to hit the market in 2007. With a list price of $25 million, you'd expect the interiors to be as sweet as the exterior. Well, not exactly. The decor inside Lake Carrington is left as a blank slate, or in real estate speak, couture ready, so a designer can trick it out to the picky Wall Street buyer's specifications.
I think there's a special Wall Street tycoon that wants to have the largest estate in Greenwich, and Lake Carrington is perfect for that person.
The suburbs never looked so damn swanky. Coming up, it isn't just about the salary, it's about the mind-boggling bonuses. And we're revealing the biggest Wall Street bonus checks of the past year.
$36 billion was given out.
Plus, on Wall Street, owning a private jet is kid stuff.
It was actually reported that he was the youngest person ever to buy a G4.
And later, sure, greed is good, but the new way to flash your cash on Wall Street is charity. When the fabulous life of billion-dollar Wall Street ballers returns. 2006 was a record-breaking year for Wall Street bonuses, which means financial bigwigs received a cash windfall like never before. James Kane, CEO of the financial giant Bear Stearns, got an estimated $34 million bonus in 2006. And then there's John Mack, the big man at Morgan Stanley. His bonus for 2006? Try $40 million. But no Wall Streeter scored a bonus boondoggle like Lloyd Blankfein of Goldman Sachs. In the 06, he grabbed an unprecedented bonus of $53.4 million.
When you work on Wall Street, your base salary is meaningless. Your entire compensation comes on one day when your boss hands you a piece of paper and says, "Congratulations, there is your number."
2006 was a record year for Wall Street bonuses. $36 billion was given out, and that's up from the record in 2005, which was over $20 billion.
You heard right. $36 billion. That's how much the top 5 investment firms lavished on their employees in bonuses last year alone.
Yeah, boy!
And you'd better believe these Wall Street tycoons blow their bonuses on some truly pricey playthings.
There's no such thing as first class anymore. First class means my class, my plane. It doesn't mean getting and going through a public airport anymore.
Oh yeah. The big boys of Wall Street wouldn't dream of waiting by the baggage carousel with the rest of you schmucks. They've got private jet airplanes gassed up and waiting to take them anywhere they want to go. Take 38-year-old Toronto-based money man Alex Schneider. With a net worth of $1.7 billion, he owns one of the sleekest private jets available, the Bombardier Global Express, which starts at more than $45 million.
The The Global Express is the ultimate aircraft. I mean, it's like a Wall Street office on steroids.
It's got pretty much everything you can ask for, including a noise reduction system, which cancels out all outside noise.
Yeah, boy!
Then there's John Devaney. The Florida-based securities trader was expelled from 2 prep schools and made money selling fake Rolexes before he took on the financial markets. But now, at the tender age of 36, John pulls in an estimated $50 million a year and has his own bodacious bird, the Gulfstream 4.
John Devaney bought his Gulfstream 4 2 years ago, and it was actually reported that he was the youngest person ever to buy a G4.
No tycoon worth his salt doesn't have a Gulfstream jet, the prices of which start at about $35 million. And if he also just wants to do a quick jaunt, he has a Sikorsky helicopter.
Oh, yeah!
But only one man truly rules the Wall Street skies. Because for former schoolteacher turned billionaire Jeffrey Epstein, one private plane won't do. He's got a small fleet. A Gulfstream 4, a Cessna, and a Boeing 727 with, of course, an in-flight trading room.
He has a Boeing 727. I'm just wondering now, what do you need a commercial-size airliner for?
Believe us, it comes in handy when you've got powerful friends to fly around. When Bill Clinton organized a week-long tour of Africa in 2002, Jeff gave him a ride in his personal 727 and took actors Kevin Spacey and Chris Tucker along for the trip.
Now, for former President Clinton, it was a chance to investigate the problems of AIDS in Africa, and for Epstein, it was a chance to hang out with some of his big-shot friends.
Jet-setting with Bill, all in a day's work for Wall Street moguls. But it's nothing compared to the power trips they're taking on the high seas.
Wall Street's top performers have the trophy homes, the amazing private planes, so of course they've invested in whopping mega yachts.
When finance titans take to the waves, they're behind the wheels of their own stylish super cruisers. Take a cruise with us around the Wall Street Yacht Club. There's Alex Schneider's mega yacht Melandia, 170 feet of floating fun with an outdoor cinema. There's 40-year-old Chicago financier Mike Palumbo's 124-footer that he purchased for $7 million. Christened Perseverance 2, it has 4 staterooms and a fancy bar area on the back end.
You are perfectly welcome to charter the yacht for just a minimal teeny fee of $60,000 a week.
But the commander of the Wall Street Yacht Club, it's our jet-setting buddy, 36-year-old John Devaney. Because he has not 1, not 2, but 10 yachts. There's the 118-footer called A Time for Us, and the 129-foot The Big Easy, which he bought for his mom. What a good son. But Captain John's flagship, it's this. The 141-foot monster called Positive Carry, with a luxurious master suite and 4 massive guest suites. But Positive Carry? It isn't just a silly boat name. It's a fancy financial term that means profits. Because even when they're on the high seas, these guys are keeping their eyes on the bottom line. Ahoy, mateys! Coming up, sure, celebs cheer on their favorite sports teams, but Wall Street moguls, they show their love in a different way.
He paid $50 million to buy a Formula One racing team.
Plus, find out why one Wall Streeter dropped $20 million for a week-long vacation. And later, a personal tour of the ultimate Wall Street Sky Palace. When the fabulous life of billion-dollar Wall Street ballers returns. Wall Street wunderkind Jeffrey Epstein digs science. But he doesn't just have his own chemistry set in the basement. To satisfy his inner Einstein, Jeff's got his own staff of world-class scientists, and he gives them $20 million a year to do whatever experiments they want.
Jeffrey Epstein was actually once a math teacher, but he's so interested in math and science that he has a team of scientists that he funds. You know, they'll just say there's something that they want to study, and he just writes a check.
The platoon of scientists that Epstein has aren't just guys off the street. He's got a Nobel Prize winner, a professor at Harvard.
But bankrolling your own Bunsen burner patrol? The fantasy spending on Wall Street gets way, way more lavish than that.
These guys are so rich that they can pretty much buy whatever they want and whatever they're passionate about.
And some of Wall Street's top earners have a fierce passion for competitive sports.
If you go back into their histories, they typically have some kind of a background where they have competitive drive, almost like an elite athlete would have.
And they'll pay anything to play with the big boys. Take British currency trader Joseph Lewis. In 2000, he dropped more than $2 million at a charity auction just to go 18 holes with Tiger Woods.
Tiger and Joe got along so well, they actually decided to go in together on a $1.3 billion development in the Bahamas.
I just wanted to do what I love to do.
But even if they're on the sidelines, Wall Streeters won't settle for season tickets. Why would they when they've got the cash to buy the whole damn team? Take 38-year-old financier Alex Schneider. In 2005, he actually blew $50 million to get his very own Formula One racing team, only to sell it in 2006 for over $106 million. Then there's Boston-based hedge fund manager John Henry. This baseball fan couldn't pass up a chance to be part of the action. So in 2002, he and two partners bought the Red Sox for a record-setting $700 million and made himself principal owner.
$700 million. That's the most ever spent to buy a major league team.
And these days, some of Wall Street's biggest spenders are taking it out of the dugout and into the stratosphere. Like Dennis Tito. Today, he's a stock market superstar, but back in the 60s, he was an actual rocket scientist. So it's no surprise that when he made his millions, he spent a fortune for a road trip to the stars.
Dennis Tito wanted to go into space, so in 2001, he paid $20 million to be the first tourist on the Russian Mir space station.
That is the ultimate dream for a rocket scientist.
Life on Earth is altogether different than life in space.
Race cars, sports teams, rocket ships. Just what you'd expect these tough-minded Wall Street warriors to blow their cash on. But these guys are spending even more money on pretty art. Why? Because art is a bull market.
Art is an asset that gains value over time. And remember, traders think in terms of value.
And on Wall Street, art acquisition isn't a gentleman's game, it's a blood sport. Just ask Wall Street heavyweight Henry Kravis.
Come on.
Henry made his mark on the street back in 1989 when his private equity firm KKR bought out RJR Nabisco for $25 billion, helping Henry build a mega fortune of $2.6 billion. And he spent a big chunk of that on impressionist masters like Monet, Renoir, and Sargent.
Henry Kravis is a major art collector. Sotheby's auctioned off one of his Matisses for $18.5 million, which is the most a Matisse has ever gone for.
Henry Kravis not only has his own private, ridiculous collection of art, he also donated $10 million to the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York, and now he has his own wing there.
But in the cutthroat Wall Street art market, no one comes close to reclusive financier Stephen Cohen. His collection is a modern art 101, including legendary works from the likes of Manet, Van Gogh, Pollock, and Warhol.
As far as hedge fund money men who are big into art, they do not come any bigger than Stevie Cohen. His art collection is north of $700 million at last count.
You heard right. To build his mammoth art collection, Stevie's spent almost $1 billion. To give you a sense of how much cash that really is, 700 mil is 7 times what New York's famous Metropolitan Museum of Art spends on new art a year. In fact, Stevie once spent over $137 million on a single painting. And he isn't just picking up stuffy old watercolors. Stevie's got a taste for the weird stuff, too. In 2004, he paid a small fortune for this multimedia work by cutting-edge artist Damien Hirst. An actual 14-foot tiger shark suspended in a tank of formaldehyde.
How appropriate. You know, it's a shark. This is the biggest obvious metaphor for a lot of what people perceive the industry to be.
One fish in formaldehyde, $8 million. Coming up, when you make millions of bucks a day at work, where do you vacation? Anywhere you damn well please.
He has a private island in the U.S. Virgin Islands that's 70 acres.
Plus, how to buy a beach house Wall Street style.
The one house he did like that was occupied, he just knocked on the door and ended up picking it up for $50 million.
And later, one of Wall Street's hottest traders takes you inside his private world. When the fabulous life of billion-dollar Wall Street ballers returns. Psychiatry. It can help you conquer your deepest phobias, from spiders to marriage to creepy circus poodles. But hedge fund king Stephen Cohen didn't hire head shrinkers to battle his inner demons. He pays them to make him more money. Stephen's got a psychiatrist on staff to help his employees cope with their fear of trading risks.
Stevie does run a tight ship, but this is par for the course for all the big Wall Street firms.
The average Wall Street guy has a pretty hectic schedule. He's really got to be at the top of his game all the time.
That's right. Working on Wall Street can make you mucho cash, but it can also make you really stressed out. So when it's time to unwind, Wall Streeters blow off steam on some truly extravagant getaways.
Wall Street guys are always on call, and because it's a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week occupation, and they're encouraged to take vacations really whenever they need it.
When you're a top Wall Street hedge fund manager, you're not packing the kids up and going to the timeshare down in Florida.
Not a chance. When Wall Streeters vacation in the Sunshine State, they don't settle for anything less than Palm Beach, the town where the average home sells for over $5 million.
Palm Beach is the Wall Street waterway for the fabulous and rich and famous.
Money manager Jeffrey Epstein seems to think so. He unwinds in his $6.8 million Palm Beach villa. And billionaire financier Steve Schwartzman kicks back in his 13,000 square foot Palm Beach mansion called the Four Winds.
Steve Schwartzman in Palm Beach has one of the most over-the-top luxury estates. I mean, it has 300 feet of private beach.
But no one threw his Wall Street weight around to get the perfect Palm Beach paradise like art lover Henry Kravis, who has a mega fortune of $2.6 billion. Come on! And when you're worth that much money, you can have any vacation home you want, even ones that aren't for sale.
He was looking for places in Palm Beach in 2006, didn't like anything that was available, but the one house he did like that was occupied, he just knocked on the door and ended up picking it up for $50 million.
And when Henry wants something more exotic, he just jets off to his other second home.
Check this out.
A mammoth $10 million bungalow in the Dominican Republic.
His home is in the ultra-luxury development of Casa del Campo, and it was designed by none other than Oscar de la Renta.
But in the world of Wall Street R&R, you can't truly work the kinks out of your billionaire shoulders unless you've got your own private island. Just ask $400 million a year hedge fund manager Louis Bacon. When most rich guys are looking for a weekend getaway from New York City, they hit the swanky and snooty beach community called the Hamptons. But why fight the weekend crowds in the Hamptons? Come on! Instead, Louis paid $11 million for his own private island right offshore, the 435-acre Robbins Island.
Apparently, Louis Bacon is hypersensitive to security.
He also has round-the-clock security on his private island, prowling the beach.
But no Wall Street island hopper grabbed a sweeter spread than our friend Jeffrey Epstein. With an estimated annual take of $75 million, he had more than enough cash to buy his own piece of the Virgin Islands.
Jeffrey Epstein owns a 70-acre private island called Little St. James. It used to be a resort.
And now it's sort of lovingly called Little St. Jeff.
Why not? It's all his.
Yeah, boy!
But when Jeff is back in the States, he retreats to the Santa Fe mega ranch he bought back in 1993.
Epstein is said to have the largest home in Mexico. His property is 7,500 acres.
Can I have it like that?
You got it like that.
All of his homes, all over the country and the world, are equipped with trading screens. So he can basically just wake up in the morning and start trading.
Private islands, holiday mega homes, typical vacation options in the wonderland called Wall Street. But no Wall Streeter grabs up getaways like Florida financial wizard John Devaney. At just 36 years old, John devours vacation homes like you wouldn't believe. He's got a whopping 27 of them.
Devaney's a bit of a real estate mogul. He's got 27 properties worth about $200 million in total, and he's dropping $750,000 a month in mortgages alone.
Most of them are in Florida, where he's based, or in the Bahamas.
In fact, John's got so many vacation properties, he's giving them away. For Christmas, he actually hands his family members free stays in his lavish getaways. Now that's what we call an all-inclusive.
Oh, yeah.
Coming up, money can't buy love, but it can buy hookups with some of the world's hottest women. Thanks to Wall Street's elite and expensive matchmaker.
Programs start at $15,000 and go as high as well into the six-figure range.
Plus, champagne, fancy duds, celebrities. Sound like a party? Nah, this is how Wall Street does charity. When the fabulous life of billion-dollar Wall Street ballers continues.
Just because you have all the money in the world, it can't buy happiness if you don't have that special someone in your life.
These guys were sort of the math whizzes and the science nerds of high school, and they probably didn't get as much action as, say, the high school quarterback. Let's go!
But today, these guys have something way more alluring than sex appeal: dollar signs. Yes, Wall Street moguls are landing the most eligible hotties on Earth. Just look at real-life hedge fund Romeo Vivi Nevo. He made his fortune with major stakes in Time Warner, eBay, and Microsoft. But he also keeps company with super hot ladies like Madonna, club owner Amy Sacco, and even dated supermodel Kate Moss. And then there's 36-year-old British financier Nathaniel Rothschild, heir to the Rothschild banking fortune. He's been spotted with model Petra Nemkova and Ivanka Trump, and most recently Natalie Portman. And even if these foxy 40-something financiers don't have models or starlets on speed dial, they can still get plenty of play for the right price. These days, there are exclusive and expensive matchmaking services designed just to score super hot ladies for super rich Wall Street singles. Like this place.
Selective Search is the go-to matchmaking firm for Wall Street bachelors. They're making things happen on Wall Street, but they have limited time in their personal lives. So they retain Selective Search to help find the love of their life.
And Selective Search is a little like Match.com, except it's just for multi-millionaires. Barbie pulls her stud pool exclusively from the top tax bracket. Because to pay her fees, they've got to be loaded.
Our clients come to us and pay a premium price. Programs start at $15,000 and go as high as well into the six-figure range.
Yeah. And for that kind of cash, Barbie doesn't just cough up a few phone numbers. She even provides an on-call personal stylist to make sure her Wall Street bachelors are booty ready. And once her number-crunching clients are primed to play the field, Barbie delivers them the hottest catches on earth.
We have built a very intense underground referral system with health clubs, with hairstylists, with yoga instructors, the who's who of service providers to the it women.
And the result of all this hard work and dedication?
Selective Search has the highest success rate in the industry. 35% of our clientele meet the love of their life on their first date.
Talk about a swinging market. It's no secret these big bad bankers do everything huge. So when it comes to worthy causes, they turn charity into a massive spending spree too. When you've got a lot, you need to give a lot.
Wall Street tycoons, of course, spend a lot of money on themselves, but they also spend a crazy amount of money on charity.
Charitable giving has become a status symbol for a lot of Wall Street tycoons. The idea that you have enough money to give away $1 million, that's the way to show that you really got it.
Billion-dollar hedge fund manager Stephen Cohen, his pet cause is healthcare. In 2006, he gave $5 million to build a pediatrics center at a Connecticut hospital. Hedge fund bigwig Louis Bacon, he's a big hit with tree huggers.
Louis Bacon has permanently conserved almost 1,000 acres of his own land that's worth an estimated $85 million, and now it can never be developed.
And one of the biggest donors on the street has got to be buyout king Henry Kravis. To date, he's raised over $100 million with his very own foundation, the New York City Investment Fund, aimed at economic development in Manhattan. But when it comes to today's serious Wall Street fundraising, no one can touch hedge fund giant Paul Tudor Jones. In 1988, he launched his feel-good juggernaut known as the Robin Hood Foundation to combat poverty in New York City.
The Robin Hood Foundation is kind of the it charity. There are some big Wall Street guys who are on the board, like Goldman Sachs CEO Lloyd Blankfein, Henry Kravis's wife, and also Stevie Cohen.
The Robin Hood Foundation has given out over $525 million since it was founded.
How do you squeeze that kind of cash out of the greed is good world of Wall Street? Easy.
Kick it.
Throw one off-the-hook party. The Robin Hood Foundation Annual Dinner.
The benefit is always attended by lots of celebrities. This year, it was Michael Douglas, Ben Affleck, Martha Stewart, and Jon Stewart emceed.
Mix celebrities, cocktails, and Wall Streeters with unlimited bank accounts, and you set off an evening of the most unhinged spending you've ever seen. And 2007's gala was no exception. Two wealthy benefactors paid $400,000 each to sing a song on stage with Aerosmith. One Wall Streeter coughed up $1.3 million for dinner. Dinner for 10, that is, with famed chef Mario Batali. And another bidder even donated an astounding $2.2 million for a trip to the 2008 Olympics in China with morning anchor Matt Lauer. In all, the 2007 Robin Hood Rager raised a mind-blowing $71 million for charity in a single night. That's right, give till it hurts, Wall Street dudes. Coming up, one hotshot young trader takes us inside his insanely lavish world. From his private movieplex.
This is my movie theater. It seats about 25 people. It's perfect for watching a movie.
To his personal party den.
I've had parties here where there were upwards of 200 people.
When the fabulous life of billion-dollar Wall Street ballers continues. And now, The Fabulous Life presents a rare glimpse deep inside the life of a Wall Street player. Chicago financier Mike Palumbo.
Come on!
In 1996, at the tender age of 30, Mike launched his own investment firm with a $250,000 investment from family and friends. Today, his company, Third Millennium, has hauled in more than $100 million in profits.
I'm just known in my business as one of the best traders in the world. Some years, I've made in excess of $25 million. Trading is basically just high-stakes, sophisticated gambling.
And for Mike, the gamble is paying off like you wouldn't believe. Because when he isn't shooting craps with mega millions, this single dude is kicking back in the ultimate stock market bachelor pad. His 7,000 square foot condo in Chicago's swanky Gold Coast neighborhood.
I live in Water Tower Place. It's one of the more exclusive buildings here in Chicago. Let's go! There's a lot of leaders of business that live here. It's very well known that Oprah Winfrey's lived here for many years.
But you can bet the Big O doesn't have a party palace like this.
Give it to me now. Give it to me now. Give it to me now.
Because Mike bought his condo for almost $5 million, and he dropped another $1 million just to transform it into a young Wall Streeter's playground. Starting with a bedroom that's tricked out for unlimited relaxation with his own private hot tub. Then, step inside his personal movie theater fit for a megaplex.
This is my movie theater. It seats about 25 people. It's perfect for watching a movie or any big sporting event.
And just down the hall, it's Mike's 30-foot private bar and a classic video game parlor with a dozen machines, including the 4-person Daytona racing game. Why so many toys? Because even the most VIP Chicago nightclubs can be a drag. So Mike invites his party companions back to Chez Palumbo so the Rager can go into the wee hours.
Party people in the house.
A typical evening in here is 20, 30 people just playing video games, having a drink, relaxing. I've had parties here where there were upwards of 200 people.
Kick it.
I love to entertain people, I love to have fun, and I really do like the best things in life.
Party on, Mike.
Next.
Brett just kissed me, and I think I heard Angel sing.
While Brett wines and dines.
Sure, rooftop sex room up here.
The house heats up.
Get this bitch off of me!
Until it reaches a boil.
Get all over, I said! I manhandled that bitch.
Rock of Love with Bret Michaels. Next.
Date over. I'm horny.
Only on VH1. Watch more drama from the Rock of Love house each week at rockoflove.vh1.com.